In this module, I'll be demonstrating how to submit a JEM enrollment. Once you log into the iPad, click on the icon that says Just Energy. You'll come up to the sign-in screen. You'll notice that after 8 hours of no activity, or if you log out, it will automatically populate your email address as your username. If you try logging in this way, it will not let you. Click on this icon to erase your email address and then enter your badge number and then your password. I have a slightly different access to the JEM app, so it allows me to have my email address as my username. If this is the first time you're logging in, you're going to have this pop-up box asking you to sign your signature. This signature should be the same signature that follows every important document that you sign. If you make a mistake, hit the clear button. You're able to resubmit your signature. Once you're completely satisfied with your signature, hit the done button. You'll also notice that there's a grayed out area here to take a picture. If you click on the inside of this icon, it will activate the front-facing camera to take a selfie. It is not required, but if you want to personalize your profile, you're allowed to. You also have your name, your IC number, which is the same thing as your badge number, and underneath is your jurisdiction. The jurisdiction should be tied to the state that you're allowed to work in. If you have multiple states you're working in, they will all be displayed here. Next is the vendor assignment, also known as the promo code. That will be tied to the JEM app, the brand, JE, Just Energy, and the retailer that you're selling at. The brand underneath vendor assignment will be synonymous to the vendor assignment. If you would be selling a different plan, under a different brand, you will have to pick the different brand here. Under brand, you have state. When you click state, once again, if you have multiple states that you're able to sell in, they will all be displayed there. Click on the state that applies, then the retailer. You might get this pop-up that says unable to geolocate. Don't fret, just press OK and reselect the retailer. Next, the city. It is really important that you carefully select the correct city that you're selling at. Then, location. Now, there might be multiple locations within that city, so it's also really important that you're selecting the correct location where you're currently at for that day. After that, you see permits, valid permits, auto geolocate. Those options we don't use. You'll also see messages, transaction history, and even this trophy icon. Those are also things that you don't use. Once you set up all these options, you have completed your home profile. You are at the home screen. This is called the navigational bar. As you can tell, the home icon is lit up. That means that you're on the home screen page. You will complete this profile setup every time you log in to the JEM app. But it is not required to set this up after every enrollment. The only time you would have to come back in here into the home page to change anything here is if you're switching locations or moving from one city to the other within the same working shift. Next, we're going to skip the maps icon and go straight into the pitch page, which is the third icon from the navigational bar. Here, you'll have to manually type in the customer's zip code. Then, press Go on the keyboard. This will allow you to view the plans that are available to the customer based on their zip code. Underneath the zip code will be the language preference. If you are bilingual and you're able to not only speak but read in Spanish, click on the language and select Spanish. You'll notice that everything on this page and the following page to come will be in Spanish. Also, if this is the customer's preferred language, they're going to get the contract, EFL, and the terms of service in Spanish. So make sure that your customer not only is able to speak Spanish, but also read Spanish. For this example, I'm going to leave it in English. You'll notice that under class, utility, and zone, it's all kind of pre-populated for you. You're not able to mess with it. But class SVC stands for small volume class, which is for residential. The utility will always be tied with the zip code. Depending on the zip code, the utility will change. Here is the list of the plans. To navigate through the plans, you're going to click on these arrows, and it'll take you to the different plans. It might be that plans stay the same, but the term changed. You click on the icon one more time, it'll change to the nights free 24 months. Click it again, we have the nights free 36 months. Click it one more time, we have the cashback 24 months. And then back to the beginning, Texas Power Saver at 24 months. Whenever you change, which you can go either left or right, the term will change, the energy charge, the average price of 1,000 kilowatts per hour will change as well. So make sure you are selecting the right plan that fits the customer's needs. You'll also notice here, this light bulb, it's 100% lit up. This is the just green section. If the customer does not want the just green, make sure that you turn it off by either dragging your finger from the top of the light bulb icon to the bottom, or just scrolling this from 100% down to 0%. If you switch plans, it will automatically add the just green. So be very cognitive in offering the just green. If the customer doesn't want it, then make sure you turn it off. For this example, we'll leave it with Texas Power Saver at 36 months and 100% green. The eye icon, if you click over it, it'll give you more information about the plan, the product disclaimer, about just green, about the perks, about our company. These are here to help you in case you get stuck, in case you don't know how to explain a certain feature, but they're not necessary to disclose to our customers. They're just there for your information. To get out of the screen, click on the icon. You'll notice that there's a shopping cart. If you click on the shopping cart and you click on this little arrow, it'll expand. You'll see exactly what you've selected from the previous screen. We've selected the Texas Power Saver, 36 months, 3 years, and 100% green. You can make your selection of the plan through the shopping cart or edit what you've selected with the shopping cart. Once you're done, you hit order. But whatever you selected in the main page is what's added to the shopping cart. So going to the shopping cart is like making the same step again, which you don't need to. It will take more time by going through this than just selecting the plan from the main page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the X to get out of here. So this is the main page of the product page. This is the plan that I selected. This is the term, and I have 100% green added. Now I'm ready to move on to the order page, which is the fourth icon from the navigational bar. I'm going to go ahead and click on the check mark to take me to it. The order page is where you capture the customer's information, from the address to their first name to the personal information like their social security number and date of birth. The first tab from the order page is the address tab. Here, the only thing that is needed is the numeric part of the address, which is the numbers. Once you type in the numbers, click on this icon, and it will populate all the addresses with 2400 that are tied to the zip code for the customer. If there's only one address, then it's going to auto-populate all of the addresses. But if there's multiple addresses, as this example, then you'll have to scroll through here and select the correct address for the customer without making a mistake. Once you find the correct one for the customer, click on it and hit Done. As you can see, it auto-populated everything else, from the rest of the information of the address to the city. Once it's auto-populated, you're going to get a check mark up here, a green check mark, letting you know that the information here has been collected and you're able to move on to the next tab. If you don't have a check mark, you won't be able to move on to the next tab. Under the account holder tab is where you're going to get the customer's personal information. When we practice, we're always going to use test ZZZ as your first name and test ZZZ as your last name. Then you're able to put in your email address. And to get the full function of the JEM app, it is always recommended to put your actual email address. That way, in case you want to practice receiving the third-party verification through an email, you're able to receive it and go through it, read the questions, and go through the same motions as a customer would. That way you can better prepare the customer because you've gone through it yourself. Next is the phone number. You would also want to put your personal phone number there. Again, to ensure that you're going to get the text message for the third-party verification and go through the motions. Now, under billing preference, if the customer would rather be signed up to e-billing, meaning they're going to get an email instead of a paper copy, go ahead and select that to yes. If the customer would rather receive a paper copy, the default is always going to be yes, no, because they prefer to receive a paper copy. This option is only toggled to yes if the customer does not want a paper copy and rather get their statements via email. The next thing you need to fill out is the customer's date of birth. When we're practicing, as long as you put that you're over the age of 18 and under the age of 75, it will allow you to continue. This next paragraph is the FCC consent. This means that the customer will be receiving new offers, promotions, either by phone or email, by a live representative, or an automated and pre-recorded telephone message or text. The customer decides that they don't want to be bothered, or they don't want to receive any promotions or newsletters or new offers. The customer can select no. Next, you'll have the account type. It will always be residential. The commercial one is grayed out. Following the account type is the dwelling type. In this example, we use an apartment. So make sure you select the correct dwelling type for the customer. Under type of switch, you have the three available to you: self-select, move-in, and standard. For this example, I'm going to go with standard. As you can tell, the ESID number is already populated for the customer. That's how we were able to get a green check mark, because it populated the ESID number for us. Scrolling down, the next thing you'll see is the credit check. The credit check is really important because we'll know if the customer has to pay a deposit or not. If we're talking to the spouse of the account holder and the spouse is wanting to change everything to her name, then we'll have to click this to no. That way we can edit all of these fields and collect her information, her social, and her signature. But if we're dealing with the account holder, then this will automatically always be yes. The next thing we want to do is collect the customer's social security number. At this point, you would give the iPad to the customer and have the customer input their social. When we're practicing, and every time we submit a test enrollment, we're going to use 9 ones. Scroll a little more up and click on Sign Signature Check Authorization Form. This is where the customer is going to sign, authorizing us to run the credit. For us, when we're practicing, we'll always sign Test ZZZ. Then you'll hit done. The next thing is to click on the complete button. Once you do that, it's going to run credit check, but before it does the credit check, it will also filter to see if this customer left the company or any one of our companies with bad debt. If it comes out that the customer did not leave any bad debt, the next thing it does is run the credit check. If the customer does not require a deposit, you will continue on to the documents page. But if the customer requires a deposit, hit OK, hit skip pre-start checklist, and you'll have the deposit methods available to you. As you can tell, because this is an apartment, the deposit amount is $175. And you want to try to first collect that deposit. Maybe the customer can pay it in full. If you select that, the customer will be able to pay in full using his smartphone via text message or email. If you click on text message, it'll confirm the phone number for the customer. And when you hit submit deposit option, the customer is going to get a text message directly to their cell phone. They'll click on the link and it'll take them to a web page where they can enter their credit card or the debit card to make the deposit. If the customer does not have a credit card or debit card accessible, but they rather pay in cash by visiting one of our cash centers, they can go ahead and click on Pay Cash. And then you select this as their deposit option. At the end of the enrollment, you will have to call customer service, and the customer will have to get their account number from a customer service representative, then visit a cash center and make the deposit. If the customer does not want to pay the deposit, then we have the deposit alternative program available to them. You will also select the Pay Cash option, submit the enrollment. At the end of the enrollment, call customer service and say the customer wants or is interested in the deposit alternative program. If the customer rejects that option, go into the Waive Deposit options. Click on the box, and you have these available to you. Hopefully the customer does qualify for one of these. I'm going to hit the X button and go with the Pay in Full option. Go with a text message. Confirm that that is the phone number for the customer, and hit Submit. Once you do that, you get deposit successfully sent. Press OK, and you notice that you got a check mark here in the bottom, and you got a check mark on top. That means you're able to move on to the next tab, which is the Documents tab. From here, there's a couple of documents that the customer has to view and sign. Here, you'll notice that this I, and this little paper are grayed out. That means the customer has not yet viewed them. First thing you want to do is click on Terms of Service and the Rights of the Customer. This is a very long 10-page document. All you have to tell the customers is they're going to get this same copy either via email or mail, and they'll be able to view this at a later time at their convenience. Don't get stuck trying to read this for the customer. All they have to do is touch this black bar, acknowledging that you showed this to them and they viewed it. Once the customer clicks on it, it turns green, and you're able to click the arrow button to come out. The next important document is the electricity fax bill. Same thing. Mr. Customer, you're going to get a copy of this either email or mail. To view it, just click on the top, acknowledging that I've showed this document to you and that you've seen it. The customer clicks on it, and then you hit the back arrow. And as you noticed, from gray, they've turned to green because the customer has already viewed the document. The last piece is the contract. Mr. Customer, please verify that the information here, your name, your address is correct, and that I've selected the correct plan that we agreed on. The customer agrees, hit the Sign Document. This is where the customer signs. when we're practicing and running the test enrollment, always sign test ZZZ. Then you'll hit done, hit the back arrow, and here's where you'll make a decision, or the customer will make that decision, how they want the terms of service, their EFL, and their contract sent to them. If they require a paper copy, select yes. If you select no, they will receive it via email. For this example, I'll use yes. And then you hit save, then hit the arrow one more time. Next, we go to the verification options. This is where the customer is going to receive either an email, a text, or even a live call so they can verify their order. Make sure you select the option that's best fitted and suitable for the customer. If it is through text, click on where it says phone to select the correct phone number, and then you're able to send the verification. When we are practicing, when we are doing a test enrollment, never use the live phone option. Always just use via text or email. Once the customer is happy with the option that we've selected, hit send verification. You'll get this windmill spinning, then telling you sending verification request. Takes a couple of seconds. When you get that pop-up that it's been successfully sent, the customer instantly, almost immediately gets the text message. All you have to do is press OK. At this point, the customer will be verifying their enrollment through the third-party verification text. Once the customer completes that in front of you, you've secured your cell, and you're able to hit checkout. If the customer isn't able to verify their enrollment through the text message, it's okay. You can still hit checkout. Just let the customer know that the order will stay pending until they verify their enrollment. Once you hit complete checkout, the last step is clicking on Send to HQ. If at this point the customer has instant buyer's remorse, click on the X and then click on the pitch page, and you will be taken back to the very beginning. And everything that you've done will be voided to that point. The customer will not be enrolled. Let the customer know not to verify anything in that text message, just to delete the text message. But if the customer is 100% on board, satisfied with everything, they've verified their enrollment, or they haven't verified their enrollment, but they will, click Send to HQ. Once the file is loaded, you're going to get the FPRC code, which is your confirmation number. With this confirmation number, either you can call customer service and connect the customer to them so that the customer can retrieve their account number, or you can give this number to the customer and the customer can walk away, call customer service at a later time, and retrieve their account number. Hit OK. And hit OK one more time. And now you're in the map page here. If you accidentally did not write down the FPRC code, click where it says Dispositions, and you'll see all of your enrollments. Accepted means that it's been uploaded successfully to our server, but it does not mean that the customer's already been accepted as a customer and it's flowing. If you want to retrieve the information that you just submitted for the customer, click on where it says PDF and open the contract by clicking on the contract. There, you'll have the customer's information, and if you scroll to the bottom, you'll also have the FPRC code right here. Click on the arrow to exit. Click on the X to exit. Once from the map page, you can go straight into the pitch page. You're ready to enter customer zip code and process another enrollment. That's the end of this module. Thank you.